Hi, folks. I'm Bob Main from the Handgun World podcast. And as you can see, I'm on video with Ben Branham. Ben, how's it going?
It's going. We thought we'd get on here and chat about horrible, horrible things going on, the whole coronavirus and scare on guns and ammo and all that stuff. And I'm gonna look at my watch. It is 1:30 on March 27th right now. We got to keep those timestamps because this thing is moving so fast.
Yeah, yeah. So we wanted to get together. We wanted to make a video for our Modern Handgunners YouTube video channel, my Handgun World podcast channel, and things like that. And a lot of people still follow me over on my Facebook page at Today's Survival Show. So we're going to kind of post this everywhere. And I've been getting a lot of response. People have been wanting me to make stuff on this. So I thought I'd bring you on and let's chat about it. Okay?
Cool. And there's always the new gun owners. I mean, I was just on another
Yes.
podcast talking about new gunners and how to help them out. Ooh, there's going to be a lot of them. So
New gun owners, yes. Yeah, we got to talk
hopefully we can
about
help
that.
some people out and maybe send this video to some of the new gun owner friends you have so that they can start to get a reference. Maybe we'll just cut out a little part and put it up there.
Yep, yep. So we're going to do two videos. We're going to do one right now for everybody to see, and then we're going to do another one about 20 minutes long or so for all of us, all the members who support us at Shooters Club, at the Shooters Club membership website, which is shootersclubmembers.com. So you guys are going to get a special recording from us.
Yeah, and if you're not a member, go to shootersclubmembers.com and sign up for $8 a month or $75 a year. We have over 80 videos up there. Plus, Bob and I have just said we're going to start putting more stuff up there, so it should grow. And that 80 number is a couple. That's like 6 months ago. We put videos and stuff up right there. I got to go into our stats and look at it again. I can't even count that high anymore.
Yeah, yeah. If you're not a Shooters Club member, there's a way to fix that. So that go ahead and fix that. Okay, so let's get started. So we're in the middle of the coronavirus lockdown pandemic, things like that. I think it caught everybody by surprise, sort of. Um, it certainly caught me by surprise, but for a long time I've been the kind of guy that likes to kind of stay prepared for stuff like this. Anyway, I'm not a, as I used to say, I'm not a tinfoil hat prepper. I'm just a kind of a practical guy. But I think if you carry a gun, you kind of have a prepper mindset. Would you agree?
Yeah, because you're getting prepared for things that probably aren't going to happen. I mean, the stats of you needing your gun are pretty low. One of the ones that I looked up a long time ago was the FBI said you had a 1 in 7 chance of being a victim of a violent crime throughout your lifetime. So that's pretty low when you think of it. It's your whole life, 1 in 7. So, you look at your family, there's 7 of you in there. One of you is going to be a victim of a violent crime during your lifetime. What's the probability it's going to be you? 1 in 7. What's the probability you're going to need your gun tomorrow? That's pretty low, but you're preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. And that's just a new slogan that, well, not a new slogan. That's a slogan that I came
Not
across.
new.
I'm building a website for Sparks Firearms right now, and that's one of the things we want to talk about, all the crazy gun stuff going on. He needs a website to try to sell some guns, so you can go to sparksfirearmstx.com and see my old employer right there. And there's a list of guns that he has in stock. He has like 600 guns in stock that he's going to try to move. And most of the local gun shops, probably in your area, are out of them. So you can contact him through the website and get part of what's there. So at least,
And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. What to do if you're a first-time gun owner, if you rushed out during this pandemic, bought yourself a gun, some ammo. We're going to talk about that soon. Matter of fact, most of that discussion is going to be on the Shooters Club, but we'll touch a little bit on it here. How's that?
cool. I'm going to let Bob direct the interview because Bob is the great interviewer. I'm an okay interviewee. Um, One of the things I've admired about you over the years, 500 episodes, you practiced a bunch. I know you're just posting those right now too. So is that you're a great interviewer. So I'm working to be you, Bob.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. I want everybody to know the first half of episode 500 is already up and it's already available. So listen to that. Lloyd Bailey from Armed Lutheran Radio is on there. Glenn Tate from 299 Days and Prepping 2.0 is on there. And Steve Zophi, who used to be one of the Power Factor Show video podcast hosts, he had some really good things to say. Coming up this Sunday, what day is Sunday? Is that 29th or 30th? I think it's the
29th.
29th, right? Um, Yours truly, Ben Branham, is going to be on there
Woo!
joining me. Dr.
Sweet.
John Edeen is going to be on, and John Payne from Suarez International. And I really enjoyed those videos. So be downloading that. So let's
Those
talk
are
about
definitely the best three right there.
those
The
are the
second
best
half.
three. Yeah, I said
The
best
second
three
half.
for last, right? COVID-19, also called the
uh,
coronavirus. So
Also called the Wuhan virus, Chinese virus,
I
whatever you
I
want to call it.
promised people I would stop calling it that.
I
Okay,
know I'm giving you
people,
a hard time.
there's some
It
pretty
start
sense, huh?
it started out as that, that they changed the name, just confuses the crud out of everybody. And then I always forget COVID-19 is the virus that causes, or the other way around. One of them is the virus and one of them is the disease, and everybody just uses it interchangeably, and I get so confused. That's why I am not a biologist that can solve this problem. I can only talk about being here now.
And I promise people, I mean, I started calling it the Wuhan Chinese coronavirus, and I don't know why today we can't call something by where it originated from, because in history we've done that for years. A
For
disease,
years, for I
you know,
mean, the Black Plague is probably the only disease in history that doesn't have a name after where it came from.
I mean, we can go back to, like 1917, the Spanish flu. But anyway, okay, so I'll get off of that subject. Um, so I think there's two facets to this. I think number one, I still cannot figure out today on March 27th why we had to shut down an entire country and an entire world and almost destroy the greatest economy on the face of the earth. I understand that we have to flatten the curve and we have to reduce the spread of it. And I'm just as afraid of catching it as anybody else because people that know my history know I don't have a normal immune system. But I just think there might have been, or at least now, there's a less drastic way that we could handle this. What do you think?
You and I kind of argued about this a little bit over the phone because we have a different opinion of this. I think they're doing the right thing trying to flatten the curve. And I am a numbers guy and I will crunch the numbers from now until eternity. And flattening the curve just means it doesn't mean we're going to stop people from getting sick. People are going to get sick. Whatever the infection rate is going to be across the United States is probably going to stay the same, whether we are all out hugging and kissing each other like normal at church and everything, or if we're all staying at home like we are right now. So over the next year, the same amount of people are probably going to get it. The difference is that less people per week are going to be sick with it. So we only have so many hospital beds.
Good
So we
point.
got, you know, what do we got right now? I forget what the numbers are. 42,000 in America that are sick with it. There's only so many hospital beds. What we really need is those 42,000 people to get all the care they need and get well so that the next 42,000 people that get it, they can take their spots in the hospital so that they can be sick, get all the attention they need from the medical community, get well, and then they can move on, and then the next set can get it. If you take all of those 40,000 groups and they all get it at one time, and 120,000 people extra are going to the hospitals, there's just not enough hospital beds. There's not enough room. You read the report that Trump is sending in one of the Mercy ships to New York to help out. I mean, there's a lot of things, but it takes a long time for this stuff to get in place. And then again, I'm gonna be the jerk here. I'm not sure using a Navy vessel, a U.S. Navy warship, is within the constitutional right of the President of the United States to do without an act of Congress. And Congress ain't going to do crap right now because they took 3 weeks to figure out how to get a $2 trillion surplus passed, and they wanted to argue about 100 million here and 5 million here, and who gives a flying flip when it's that much money? $5 million sounds like a lot to you and me, but to $2 trillion, I think that's 0.05%. Yeah, who cares? So I don't my thoughts of Congress ever getting anything done to help out the American people are almost there. So most of the
Uh,
time when the government tells us, and I said this on my podcast, my last one I did, that most of the time when the government tells us to do something, I'm like, you're
yeah,
wrong, you're an idiot. My first
yeah,
thought is, you're stupid, go away, leave me alone. And I'm sure you guys in this world listen to Bob's show and my show. You're the same way. The first when the government tells you to do something, you're like, yeah, you believe that. Yeah, we're from the government and we're here to help you. The
yeah. We're
seven
here to
most
help each other.
dangerous words that have ever been said in the world, right? So yeah, but this one is it seven? He's counting on his fingers.
How
Uh,
about 10? Isn't that
it's
10
ten.
words?
But either
Whatever.
way,
So
So
let's talk
dangerous.
about that. All
So
right. So let's talk about
flatten
that.
the curve. That's what we need to do. Flatten the curve. So I'm trying to stay in so that I can help flatten the curve. If I get sick, I'm not going to pass it around. Somebody else is going to get sick. Hopefully they won't cough on me. We don't go to the store. We're doing all that stuff that we can to help flatten that curve out.
Okay. All right. So we got that established. So I want to talk about getting prepared. First of all,
Oh, good topic.
I said for years that most preppers were not crazy people, and a lot of people just still think that. But I don't think today anymore. Now, after coronavirus, I don't think that people are going to think that preppers are a bunch of crazy fringe dwellers.
Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way.
Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way. So
And we're talking about things going and run. So I've got lots of MREs saved away from being in the military and everything, and I've just bought a couple here and there, and so we can live on a couple weeks to maybe a month of just MREs stashed in my garage. One day we'll survive. It ain't gonna taste good and it ain't fun, but yeah, I've done it before. You can do it. It sucks. I
yeah,
always try to get my wife into doing a simple thing, and I know you probably do it. Is just copy canning. So you buy more than what you need that doesn't go bad. So I just instead of having one can of beans that I eat every day, I have three extra cans of beans for that day or whatever it is, a box of cereal, box of what everything, anything that doesn't go bad. So my wife never understood that, and I tried to get her to do it for years. I'm like, okay, you're going to the store, just everything that's not perishable, just buy two of them this week instead of one, and that way, we'll just build the pantry, and next week do the same thing, and then we'll have a bunch. And if it gets too expensive, we just won't buy that next week, and then we'll wait till it goes on sale, and we'll start to get that.
exactly.
Well, suddenly it hit her 3 weeks
Oh,
ago or
yeah.
4 weeks ago that we could do it, and then when all this stuff started that we started talking about sequestering ourselves and staying in and not going anywhere, all of a sudden she understood what I was talking about. And when we sat down with the grocery list, I was like, this, and this is all non-perishable, right? Yeah, I just need one. Put two or three on everything and start doing that. So we've been doing that for about 3 weeks now. So our pantry is getting built up, and we're getting built up a store of extra. So that's helpful. I mean, this our pantry should have been bigger to begin with, but that's the number one thing we're doing right now is that copy canning stuff. We just ordered two of everything. It's not going
And
to be
let's,
great to have rice and
yep,
beans for a month, but you know what? I
you
can
can
stand
survive.
to and I can stand to lose a couple of pounds anyway. So,
So
look at
let's
the
talk
bright side.
about that. Let's talk about that. So we've had all this panic buying. We've had all these people going to the shelves, wiping out grocery stores and things like that because they weren't prepared. So I'm going to ask everybody watching right now a question. Do you have 30 days worth of food in your house? If the answer is no, if you don't have 30 days worth of food in your house, my next question is why not? Why haven't you been thinking about that? Okay, so now your mind is changed because of coronavirus, right? Now you see, okay, so set a goal. Have 30 days worth of food. It might not be gourmet food. It might not be the best stuff that you've ever eaten in your life. Survivable food. Like you said, increase your canned goods, increase the non-perishables. Make sure that you know what? Hey, I think almost every American and everybody in the world is going to start buying more toilet paper now once it becomes available, and they're going to start stocking up on that, which is crazy. But if you feel like you need to stock toilet paper, stock it. The thing is the first thing I think you need to do is set a goal to have 30 days worth of food in your house. Would you agree?
Yeah, and don't forget water.
Water.
Water is hard to store, it's big, and it doesn't go bad if you store it correctly. And there's about 100 ways to do it, but start storing some more water too. I mean, this time there's really no threat of them turning off your water
I don't think so. No.
unless it's a normal like some idiot with a backhoe grabs the main water line and pulls it when they're doing construction, which is very possible for me because they're doing construction in one neighborhood over for me. So stuff like that's going to happen, but it's not going to be because of the end of the world. But what happens next time? What happens when some idiot with a
Right.
backhoe? Right now, we're all stuck at home. We're trying to stay at home. What if some idiot with a backhoe does hit the main water line going into your house subdivision, and you don't have
Yep.
water? I mean, the company's going to be out there to try to fix it as fast as they can, but everything is slowed down right now. Everything is running supplies for food because that's the major shortage. So they're not running supplies to Home Depot as much because they're making more money running food, and that's what truck drivers do. So if they need a part for that main water line, it may take them a week to get that part. And then you're just not going to have water for a week, and you're supposed to stay home and not go out. And
And
how
are
are you
you
going to get
prepared
water?
for that? Are you prepared
And
to not have water for a
yeah,
week?
so yeah, just food, water is the first thing you need to get up and just start with. For me, it's start with a week. I mean, you could figure 1 gallon per person per day of water if you want to do a real rough estimate. And the other thing is if you get really, if you had one good meal per day that you could make, you could survive. But you
You
don't
can
want to do that.
survive. You
So you'd
can
rather
live.
have
You
two
don't
or
want
three
to.
meals.
You'd rather have
Yeah.
2 or 3, right?
So you can look
Right.
at it and go, how many meals is that, and figure out how many meals you have in your cupboard. And then you can just divide that by how many numbers of days, and you can get how long. You can start looking at it and go, oh, we don't have much food. That's only one meal a day for the next 2 weeks.
That's
You need
right.
to work on that.
Okay, so we covered that. So the other thing that we need to cover is a lot of people are first-time gun owners, and the video that we're going to make shortly for all the Shooters Club members, we're going to get more in depth in that. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ben, maybe you've been following this closer. I think the NICS background check system has received record amount of background check results. I think they're extremely overwhelmed, aren't they?
Yeah, I saw that. And then you have other problems like New Jersey turning off their background check system so that nobody can buy a gun.
Wow, how about that for your government, huh? How about that? Folks, people are probably watching us from all over the country and all over the world. For you people who have been voting for politicians in states and countries that have all these years have been restricting your gun rights. Now you want to go buy a gun? Why have you been putting these people in office? What are you thinking? I hope this changes your mind. I'm pleased about something. One reason why I am really happy to see so many first time gun owners, I've always been a firm believer that the more people that have guns, the harder it's going to be for the government to take that right away from you.
Well, and now that people see how ridiculous it is, I'm hoping that Californians will have a revolt at the polls next time. All these guys are,
Jersey.
well, California, there's stories about all these people lining up around the corner to get guns, and the sheriff coming in and shutting down the store, and then the sheriff opening it again because somebody can obey the freaking Constitution of the United States. Just saying. But then all those people coming in and they're like, oh, they're first time gun buyers. Well, I want to buy a gun. And they think they can order it from the internet and just pay cash and have it delivered to
Oh,
their
you mean you
house
can't do that?
because, yeah, the news media has been lying to them for 20 years.
You can't just buy a gun and have it shipped to your house
Yeah.
buy it offline and have it sent?
So now
Well,
they're going into yeah, they try to do that and then they
oh, what
can't.
are you
So then
talking about, Ben?
yeah,
Come on.
then they go into the gun
It's,
shops though, and they're
yeah,
pissed off at the gun shops because there's a 10-day wait in California for any firearm.
I'm mad. I'm mad.
So
CNN's been telling me for a long time I can just get online, pay for the gun, and it shows up UPS at my door.
yeah, on the plus side, all those people that went into that store for the first time to try to find out what the gun laws are really like, they will never believe CNN and Fox or anybody or MSNBC or
Yes,
any
and
of your
yes.
NBC or any of your idiot politicians out there campaigning that guns are too easy. They're all over the streets, and you could just
Oh
go
yeah,
online
yeah.
and buy an assault weapon right now and just all $500 cash, and that's it. And, they're going to be like, you freaking liar. I tried to do it last year. That was not how that worked at all.
And people are realizing that you can't do that now. But anyway, we got a lot of good first time gun owners out there.
Yeah.
And
If you're a first time gun owner, welcome to the fold. We
welcome.
are glad to have you.
Welcome to the club. Yes, yes. No matter who you are, welcome. So, um, a couple pieces of advice for that I want us to both give to first-time gun owners, and then we'll kind of wrap up this introductory video. But okay, you have a gun now. You have some ammo, which probably was really difficult to find, but you might have
Really
found
expensive.
a little bit of ammo. Yes, folks, get training. Um, just
Well,
because you have a
let's back
gun.
up one for new gun owners. How much ammo do you need right now? Let's start with that.
Much
You
you can
need
afford.
two con I'm going to give you a guideline. You need two
Okay.
combat loadouts for whatever you buy. And so if
Tell
you
them
only
what a
have
combat loadout is.
how much ammo you would normally carry on you when you're walking around. So if you only have two mags for that brand new Glock that you have, you only need two mags worth of ammo. If you're in California, it's only 20 rounds, 21 with one in the chamber. And so you do that twice and you buy a box of 50 of hollow point self defense rounds, you're set. You need that, and you need a couple boxes of ammo to go practice with on that brand new gun to make sure it works and to
Very
make sure you understand how it works. And that was your next point, was the training. But really, and all you old time gunner owners that are freaking out there, this has happened in the past. It will happen again.
yeah.
The ammo will come and go. If you have a couple combat loadouts of your of your chosen carry ammo with any weapon that you're going to carry, you are good to go. I have a couple
I do.
combat loadouts for
I have
my
more than a couple
pistols.
combat
I've got
loadouts.
more than a couple combat loadouts for my rifle in all my calibers for my rifle. So I am set. That's all you need right now. You don't need to panic buy that stuff, and then just try to buy the stuff that you're going to practice with and use, not hoard this stuff. Now you've missed the boat. I even put this on my podcast a couple times. You have missed the boat. Ammo is a freaking fortune. You should have bought it a month ago. You should have been
Yep,
hoarding that crap because it was
2 months ago even.
$130 a case for 1,000 rounds of 9 millimeter. Now it's $275 to $295 a case for
Yep.
9 millimeter. So yeah,
But people were
patience.
asleep at the wheel. Oh, I just don't need a gun. I don't need all that much ammo. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Mines are, I think mines are. Excuse me, mines are changed right now.
Yeah, we got to remember though, as Americans, and I'm talking about everybody, we forget all this crap really quick, and we think all the way. We always think that how it is right now is how it's always going to be. The coronavirus. I know, Bob, you're going a little stir crazy being stuck at home, and so am I. To be my wife and my kid are doing great. They're like, no problem. We're having a good time. We like ordering food from the store and not having to go pick it up. We like sitting at home playing video games all day. No problem. My kid, I swear, would never come off video games and never leave the house. He is golden. But I'm going a little stir crazy. I need to get out too. I like to get out and do things. I
Yeah,
don't want to be stuck
I
at home.
understand.
But we always think that this is how it's going to be forever, is that we're going to be stuck here. Come on. If you looked at it through your lifetime, if you had to stay in your house and not leave for 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, it looks like it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks at this point, is my guess, before it's all going to be called off. And I'm on week number 2. This is the end of week number 2 for me for not going anywhere.
Right.
So next week will be week number 3 for me. But so it looks like 4 weeks for me. If I told you you had to stay at home for 4 weeks and you couldn't go anywhere, but you still have your internet, you still have water, you still have AC, you still have all your entertainment, you can still order things from Amazon, you can still order food from anywhere in the city, they'll deliver it to you, you'd be like, that's stupid. I can do that standing on my head. You mean I don't even have to go to work? Yeah, you don't even have to go to work. Just stay at home. They're telling you at work to stay at home. You
Yeah.
may not be making as much money or you may have the same money. I mean, a lot of guys, there's a bunch of military guys that live next to me and they were all told to stay and work at home. And I'm like, how does that work? And they're like, I don't know. I'm just staying at home. I mean, he's outside cutting his grass and he's like, yep, I'm working right now. I'm like, good for you, dude. Talking
Well,
social distancing, but yeah, all that
so we're
stuff.
gonna.
So 4 weeks
That's
on
good
your head.
advice. It's good
Easy.
advice for new gun owners. For good advice for new gun owners. Thanks. We're gonna be talking more about that on the
Yeah, we
Shooters
could.
Club video.
I am very much not. I'm a squirrel with topics. You were going to talk about training.
That's okay.
You were going to talk
That's
about
okay.
training for new gun owners,
Well,
and that.
we're gonna and we're gonna offer some training tidbits
Well,
on the next.
I want to start a little training piece here. I want to put
Go
this out for the
go
the safety thing. If
go.
you are a new gun owner, you don't have guns, safety, safety, safety. If you are a person that's asked to help the new gun owner out, safety, 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 first thing. Teach them how that stupid thing works, because it's a mechanical device, it works. And then teach them those 4 magic safety rules. The 4 you live by. Treat every weapon as loaded. Don't point the weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you intend to fire, and know your target, what lies beyond if you're going to fire. If you can learn and live by those 4 simple rules, you're never going to have an accident that hurts somebody that you're not supposed to. I say
Yep.
not
There you
supposed to
go.
because guns are dangerous, and they're supposed to be dangerous because
Supposed to be.
when somebody breaks in your house with a bunch of guns, you want your gun to be very, very dangerous to the bad guy, not to you. So live by those 4 safety rules, and you're golden. If you don't understand them, if you're a new gun owner, man, YouTube them. There's 100 people that sit there and explain them at nauseum that will knock you out. My buddy Paul Carlson over at Safety Solutions Academy, he teaches a class on just safety. His rules are a little different, but much the same. And I'm very distracted by my kid that's trying to walk in behind. This is what happens when you do live stuff. Get out.
That's okay.
But yeah, he's got a class up there you can buy. I forget how much it is. It was stupid cheap. It was
Yeah.
way less than you paid for your gun and probably less than you paid for your ammo at this point. So you can go take that and he'll explain his version of. He has 3 safety rules that are the version of those 4, and he'll explain them at nauseum. If you follow his 3, you'd still be golden. Those 4 came from Jeff Cooper. They've been around since the dawn of gunfighting almost. I mean, they're since World War II pretty much. And you know what? They freaking work. And every
They
time I
work.
think about changing them, they freaking work. So,
And
learn those
another
things.
another thing I'll throw in there, You and I already have a lot of videos on our Shooters Club about safety, about new gun ownership, and what to do. So, we're all quarantined. We need things to do. If you're a member, go to, there's over 80 videos on there. So you're going to learn something if you're a new gun owner. Good stuff, Ben. Thank you. Good stuff. Last thing I want to talk about here on the public video is what to prepare for next. And here's my opinion. Okay.
Nothing.
About an hour ago, the news just broke that the House of Representatives finally passed the $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus, and Trump, I think, is going to sign it within a day or two. This is what you need to prepare for. Just think about this, folks. $2 trillion, trillion with a T. Now, let me explain to all of you watching how much that is. If you go back a billion seconds, 1 billion, you're going to be in 1987. Okay? Let that sink in for a minute. That's 1 billion. If you go back 1 trillion seconds, you're going to be in 30,000 BC. Okay? If you go back 2 trillion seconds, so if you go back 1 second for every dollar that the U.S. has spent, you're going to be in 60,000 BC. Wrap your head around that number. 2 trillion. Here's what's coming. What's coming is some kind of financial hardship, because now I understand it has to be, they say it has to be done. We could argue that for weeks and months, but it's done. So folks, you got to start preparing for the consequences of what's going to happen. And here's what that equates to, and then I'll shut up. Every single American citizen now owe the government another $19,000 because of the $2 trillion spent. You owe the government $19,000. How? They're going to get it back in taxes. They're going to reduce some benefits somehow. They're going to get the $2 trillion back, even if they're printing it out of thin air, which is they're going to do at first. The value of your dollar is going to shrink so much. You just now owe per person $19,000. How's that?
Well, I thought we were supposed to be optimistic here.
Well, I am,
Go.
because I'm telling you to prepare. I don't want you
Well,
to be in a situation where
so
you can't handle it.
let's go over a simple preparedness thing then. We talked about financial. That's what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And you've got to have a safety net. Like, so I just got laid off from my job, and it sucks. I've been off of work for a week. I've been officially unemployed for a week. It hasn't even hit us yet, Bob. My bank account's still going up because I just got my last paycheck from my employer this week.
And millions of
So
people are in your situation.
yeah, but right now, if I kept my same lifestyle, trying to do math real quick here on the podcast, I have 2.5 months in savings. If I keep my same lifestyle
Very
and I
good.
don't change my lifestyle at all, I
Very
have
good.
2.5 months that I could keep living and working and stuff. And that's without any benefits coming in, nothing. That's just our normal lifestyle with our budget that we set. So I
But
don't
you
even
know
have to
what?
change my budget.
That already probably puts you in the top 5% of Americans.
Well, everybody needs to do that. You need to put away for a rainy day. You need to have a large. And my fund doesn't look nothing like Bob's fund. I've been Bob's friend for a long time, and I know he's been following the Dave Ramsey thing, and he has a huge cushion because he's in sales and it goes up and down, and he knows. And then he's got a new family. He's Bob. You're one of my mentors on that. I'm still trying to catch you, but I mean, just if you have 2.5 months of savings, it sucked and it crushed me when I first got laid off, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take an hour and go freaking eat a candy bar, and be that little kid. And then I applied for unemployment benefits. I put in for like 4 jobs. I did some research and found some other cool jobs I'm going to put in for. I got a side hustle where I'm building that website. I mean, I have all these things, and it doesn't matter because, well, I have that huge savings account, so I've got time, and that's all
Well,
it's
the
playing with.
pain, it matters, but the pain is less for you.
Yeah. So the pain is, ow, I'm unwanted. People hate me. They cut me. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, oil, it's my life. It's what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about it. But take that for me, this time, if you're still getting paid right now, you still have a job, you need to take money
I do.
and
Amen.
be thankful, and then
I
take
am.
money and put it aside. Don't be spending all that crap. Save some of it. You don't, I mean, look at, for you guys that are stuck at home, why don't you just save your stinking gas bill? How much money do you put in your gas tank every week?
Put
Put
it
in a
in your
savings
bank
account right
put it in
now.
the, no, get cash and stick it in your safe. That's
Well,
the
that
other
would be
thing.
the other thing.
You got to
I'm
have
doing
some
that,
cash, folks. You got to have
and
cash.
I think about Dave Ramsey's emergency fund is a good place to start. $1,000 in cash in your safe. You don't want to have every penny you have in there because it's not growing, it's not making interest,
And
and
that's not why.
and it's safer to be in the bank if you have $10,000 than to have it under your mattress. But you know what? If we always want to prepare for the last disaster. Let's prepare for the next one, and that brings me to my next thing is to live without things of support. Our support system in America, police officers, water, fire departments, electricity, road services, city services, all this stuff, food delivery. The restaurants are open, the HEB is open, the Walmart is open. Learn how to live without those systems of support, and then you won't have it be a problem. Well, if I need to trade something for my buddy that's two doors down, I mean, me and Bob talked about this. So funny thing me and Bob talked about is I was on the bad end of the toilet paper thing. We always keep 2 to 4 weeks of toilet paper because we buy it by the case from Costco. And my wife's like, "Oh, I think we should get some more toilet paper next week, but I don't really want to go to Costco, so I'm just going to wait till next week. We'll go next week." Well, then all the toilet paper went away, and we're like,
Gone.
"Oh, crap." And but then I talked to Bob. I'm like, "Hey, dude, did you pick up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got tons of it. We went and got extra." And I'm like, "Well, huh. Well, we've got a bunch of extra wipes and hand sanitizer. If it comes down to it, can I trade you?" And he's like, "Yeah,
We're
sure."
gonna trade. We're gonna trade hand sanitizer for toilet
Yeah.
paper
So
because
if
I
you have
ran short
something,
of hand sanitizer.
if you have something to trade, it's really easy. If you don't have anything to trade, you're SOL. And then if you don't have anything to trade, Benjamins always talk no matter what happens. If you start whipping out 20s, if I say to my neighbor, I need some toilet paper, we're out. Yeah, you don't want to shake my hands because I'm out of toilet paper. But I start pulling out $20 bills out of my pocket and say, "Do you have a couple of rolls you can spare?" Suddenly he's going to be thinking, yeah, I could give you a roll for $20. So having cash on hand is
A
not a bad
$20
idea.
roll of toilet paper. Ouch.
That'd be the
It
most
doesn't get that.
expensive wipe you ever had.
Oh,
But
it doesn't get that bad.
it's if you have cash though, you can make things happen with cash.
Well,
If you
you
don't have cash
absolutely.
and you say, "Hey, I don't have any toilet paper. Can I get you tomorrow?" And he's like, "This is a bad time. No." What are you gonna do? So if you
You
have cash, it always
absolutely.
gives you options.
Cash is king. Cash works. That's a good stopping point. We're gonna do another one here for all of you members, and remember, folks. I'm Bob Main. My show is called Handgun World Podcast. You can find it at handgunworld.com on Apple Podcasts. You can find it at just search Handgun World on there. My YouTube channel, you can just put Handgun World into YouTube. You're going to find me there. This video is going to be on there. And Ben, tell them how they can get signed up for the Shooters Club and watch over 80 videos and like 12 audio podcasts. How can they
Go to
do that?
go to shootersclubmembers.com and sign up there. There's a video on the front side so you can see a free video about what we do. All the videos are set up like that in little 10-minute increments, and all you got to do is hit sign up for like $8 a month or $75 a year. So you're going to be at home for the next 2 to 4 weeks. At $8, man, you could spend 80 times 10 minutes, whatever that is, math, watching stuff and learning stuff. So go over there, sign up. And if you want to hear more
Go
about
there, get
my
signed up.
show, you can always go to modernselfprotection.com. You'll see my podcast there. It's on Apple Podcast. You can search me on YouTube. I put up 5 Minute Fridays and some other stuff over there. I'm big into the Scorpion little PCC kick right now, pistol caliber carbines. So
You're
I'm doing
good with
videos
that
about
too.
that. Yeah, I'm getting better too. So always fun, fun, fun. So I'm working on a lot of that stuff and a lot of good stuff and a lot of coronavirus things to keep people. I want to keep people calm down. It's not that bad. It
It's
sucks,
not
but
that
it's
bad.
not
It's
that
not
bad.
that bad. I've been taking, if you follow me on Facebook, I've been putting positive stuff out there. And I'm getting people are making bad comments about me because I'm being positive about this stuff. So it's like I don't know what to do. Do I be positive? Do I be negative? What do I do? But anyway, I'm going to keep on being positive because being positive is the way to help this. I've always said for God does not give us, well, I didn't say this, the Bible said it. Paul Paul wrote it, but I've always quoted it. For God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And if you remember that fear comes from the bad side, and don't get into fear. I just want to say one more thing too. Last night I found out something, good positive stuff. Carl Wren, my good friend Carl Wren at KR Training. I've taken 3 of his gun training classes. Carl just interviewed Paul Martin. Paul Martin is a really good common sense preparedness guy, and he's got books out, he's got a podcast out, and everything. That is going to be on my show April 1st. April 1st, Paul Martin and Carl Wren are going to be talking about what you can do for common sense preparedness. Ben, anything you want to close with?
Yeah, listen to Carl Wren. He is like, he should be a researcher at a huge think tank at like Harvard or Yale or something. He puts those idiots to shame. He is that smart. So listen to what Carl says.
And also
He,
listen to what Ben Branham says on modern self protection, because I just recently saw you put some new stuff up there, didn't you?
yep, I've been trying. I put some fun stuff up about the PCCs and I put some stuff about coronavirus. That's why I'm dating everything I do. I'm recording this at, look at my watch
March
because,
27th.
yeah, because
March
time
27th, and we're
time is going to
finishing up
march on.
now at 2:05 p.m.
Yeah, so if you hear this 5 days from now, some of that information might be old,
Right.
and some of it's going to live on. Like you should have cash. That will always be.
Live on,
There will
baby.
never be a time. You can quote me on that. There will never be a time when it won't be helpful for you to have
You're right
cash in your
about that.
wallet.
You're right about that. It's always going to be useful. Ben, thanks a lot.
Hey, had fun. Thanks for setting this up. And yeah, if you can't carry a cop, remember
Who
who said
said that?
that?
All right. Talk to you later.